Welcome to another brand new episode of Undisputed Nerds. This is the podcast where we like to talk about comic book movies, TV shows, and we'll take a little light-hearted look and a bit of a joke and a bit of a poke here and there at that. This week, the Gentlemanly Gamer is on holiday. Sad news, but there's not always sad news. This week, I am joined by a fantastic co-host. You may be familiar with her Instagram and some of the other episodes we've done in the past. But if you're unfamiliar, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome Melissa to the show. How
Thank
are you?
you for having me. It's a pleasure to be back. It's been a while.
It's been a while since we've done this, yeah.
Just as fun as, except with the added pressure of video now. Thanks for that.
I know, right? Like,
So fun.
This week we will be talking about She-Hulk, not only the finale, but we'll be talking about the season as a whole. So make sure to stick around for that. Melissa, I guess it's for those who are unaware of your like amazing Instagram account. Do you want to talk about like your Instagram and your Disney themed, like your background in Disney, I should say?
Yeah, sure. So my account is called A Whole New Build, and it's all about celebrating colour and fun and just bringing pattern into your home in a way that makes you happy, basically. So my ethos is I moved into a new build and it was Magnolia. And a lot of people keep their houses Magnolia because they think, well, we've got to keep it plain because we might not stay here forever and we might want to sell it one day. And my belief is that you should live in the house that you love while you're in it, and why save it for the next people when you could create absolutely joyful moments in the house that you're in now by adding some fun. So the way that I personally do that is, as you can probably see behind me, a lot of neon lights, a lot of crazy wallpaper, brightly coloured paint, and lots of little splashes of Disney where I can. So the neon behind me says To Infinity and Beyond, which, as we all know, is a homage to the one and only Buzz Lightyear. We've got above our bedroom, in our master bedroom, we've got another neon light that says Who Disturbs My Slumber, which Disney fans may know from Aladdin, and also will be familiar with because you get no sleep when you become a parent. So it's kind of more, I try and make the nods to Disney a bit more subtle rather than just having Mickey Mouse everywhere. It's more like, if you know, you know, kind of reference. But yeah, I try and slip as much Disney in as I can. As long as it's colourful, it'll find a place in.
Amazing. And I guess first-hand experience, the Agrabah in the garden.
Yes, the Agrabah. You are well versed.
Poison.
So it's Agrabah as in Agra, B-A-R, Agrabah. So we've got a really cute little garden bar, and that came about thanks to a Twitter poll. I think I put it out there and said, if I was going to have a Disney themed garden bar, what would be the best name for it? And the suggestions I got were absolutely incredible. I've got enough for like a full Disney themed drinks cocktail. I really haven't got around to that yet.
That's amazing. That's so cool. Wow. Bloody hell. But normally on the podcast, we have a few games and a few sort of sections within the show. For those who are unfamiliar, we usually play a game called Batman 360 No Scope. Now, the reason for this is in the past, in the movies, Batman has done some horrendous murders. And what we normally like to do is play a sound clip of that murder and guess the movie that murder takes place.
Batman who doesn't murder.
Batman whose one rule is never murder, but his kill count is horrendous. Yeah. So I thought this week, as we have you, a Disney fanatic concierge, I thought it'd be fun to do a similar thing, but with a Disney twist. So I have 2 audio clips of murders that have happened in Disney movies. There's an easy one and I think a slightly harder one. So I'll let you choose which one. What we're looking for, though, is the year of the movie that it takes place in, of course, the title of the movie, and who is currently being unalived in the sequence. Yeah. Would you like the easier option or the hard?
Have I got to do both?
You don't have to do both. You could do both if you want to.
I'll do both. So I'll do the easier.
Ooh.
We'll work up.
Okay. Yeah, we just warm up, like get us. Yeah. Let's get into it.
Get this one, I'll be really worried.
Also, I'm kind of concerned if, like, will I get a copyright strike? No, I found this on YouTube. It's fine. So, are you ready? I hope this plays for you as well, by the way. Here is the first audio clip.
Long live the king.
So unalived is Mufasa.
Yes.
The
movie?
The film is The Lion King.
Nice.
The year? 95?
So close. 94.
Oh!
So close. So close. But a good round, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. All right, let's go for the hard one.
Here we go. You ready?
Ready.
Like me.
Get off the roof, get off the roof, get off the roof. I actually have no idea.
Ooh, a lot of explosions in that one.
Is it Mulan?
It is Mulan.
Okay. So who's being unalived? Oh.
I was surprised there's quite a little death count in this movie. It's about war, yeah, I guess. But...
Oh, is it that guy who's like the head of the Huns? I've forgotten his name. But year, I'm going to say 97.
One more try.
98.
98.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, see, it's kind of like childhood era. So I was like, how old was I when I saw that? Just judging. I don't know who's being killed in that scene, though. That was tough.
Yeah. So it was Shang Yu, who's the main villain of the movie.
Right.
Surprisingly, by the hands of Mushu, with the firework on the roof.
Oh, I did not clock that happened.
It's kind of a weird little thing because Mushu lights the fire. Well, he lights a stick and he gets the cricket to light the firework, and he just poof hits him. Yeah.
Wow. He earned his place back in family representative. So
who knew? Yeah, killing would get you so high praise with ghosts. Like, there you go.
That. Can we just do
fun.
that for fun?
Say that again.
We just do that weekly for fun. You can just text me with
random. Yeah.
Enjoyed that.
Good. I guess that has been Disney No Scope 360 or 360 No Scope, I should say. If you enjoyed that, make sure to drop a like and let us know in the comments if you would like to see more Disney 360 No Scopes. So weird. Uh, Here's this week's episode sponsor.
Zane, did you know that I love to surf?
No, I didn't.
I know, it's amazing. You'd never believe it looking at me, but I am an avid surfer. Not of the sea, though. Oh, no. I am a surfer of the World Wide Web, my friend. And let me tell you something. When I go surfing, I definitely need some protection. Not the usual kind of wetsuit, though. I need some VPN. Do you know what VPN means, Zane?
I don't. What's a VPN?
Well, it would be a virtual private network, and let me tell you, we here at Undisputed Nerds are being sponsored this week, and a big thank you to the episode sponsor, Surfshark VPN. You can get Surfshark VPN 83% off and free months free, Zane, if you go to surfshark.deals/Undisputed Nerds and enter in the promo code Undisputed Nerds. Surfshark VPN lets you trick your device into thinking it's in another country, which opens up a whole world of content libraries, Zane. So think about it this way. If you're in the UK, you can watch US Netflix, which has a far bigger selection of movies. You can get all of your Batfleck content that I know you love, Zane. I know you're looking for. If you're outside of the UK as well, you can watch amazing apps like BBC iPlayer. And if you're in the US, you can finally get access back to the old WWE network with its far superior functionality. We've been using, me and Zane have been using Surfshark here at Undisputed Nerds for a while. It is our official VPN, and it doesn't just let us gain access to all the comic book movies, but it also secures our networks by encrypting internet traffic, keeping our location and download history private, thankfully, so that people can't see me purchasing wetsuits. My favorite feature on the Surfshark, it knows when my phone leaves a trusted connection, like my home or work internet, and it immediately turns on to prevent interference. It's like having, I don't know, Batfleck's Justice League for your phone, Zane.
I know exactly what you mean.
And I know you've got a lot of Batfleck on your phone right now. So sign up to Surfshark today by using our link in the video description below, surfshark.deals/Undisputed Nerds, where you'll get, again, 83% off and your first 3 months free if you use the code Undisputed Nerds. We really appreciate if you just at least check them out, as they're a great company and we love working with them. Support Undisputed Nerds and support your internet privacy with Surfshark.
As always, thank you, Surfshark VPN. Melissa, shall we jump into the main discussion of She-Hulk?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's fair to say we're just going to jump straight into spoilers. We normally have a ranking system on this show, which is undisputed, which means it's really good, or disputed, where we think it might have been really bad. Please let me know where this landed on your undisputed or disputed scale.
I think
Yeah.
it's top end of undisputed, and I know that that's controversial.
Indulge me. Go on.
It knows it's not normal, and it's not trying to be, and I love that. I love the breaking of the fourth wall. I think there are so many funny little in-jokes that Marvel fans especially have been crazy on Twitter for, going, oh, that was a nice nod. Oh, I like that. Oh, and I just think that's really clever, like not taking itself too seriously. You don't have to be this incredible, massive cinematic universe that is serious all the time. Like, it can just be funny. Like, yes, just give me the switch off funny, but still a bit of superhero. Like, that is just everything I want from a Marvel. I'm sorry. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
So it was more the comedy side that did it for you, like instead of like the heroics, or like, you weren't.
Oh yeah,
climbing it. Yeah.
It just it was definitely the comedy, and I think because it's quite quick as well.
Yeah.
It gave me a bit of a Gilmore Girls vibe in terms of pace. Like, you have to you have to get the references to find it funny. Like, I think it was, I don't know if it's episode 1 or episode 2 that there was, oh no, it was the first episode, wasn't it? Because Hulk was on the phone about Abomination. And he was like, I'm literally a different guy when I knew him. And it took me a minute, but I was like, that's hilarious! Actor! Oh my god! Like, but how clever that the writers thought, let's be cheeky with it, let's have some with it. And it's just, I think it's nice for fans to get those little nods to their fandom. If you know the facts, you're gonna find this funny. And yeah, I like that. I just thought it was really clever.
Oh, that's cool. I like I haven't really thought of that, to be fair. There is a lot of nods and winks to, like you said, other elements of the MCU and such.
And did you scan the QR code in episode 1?
I didn't, but I know they're all comic books. Like, yeah. So they're like free digital comic books to kind of, have a read through and stuff, which is cool. It's a great way to encourage people to read and check out the source material. I think they've been doing it since I know they did it in Miss Marvel as well, but I think they may have done it like prior to that. I maybe want to say since Falcon. I could be wrong, but yeah.
But that's the first one that I've noticed and gone, oh, I'm gonna do it, rather than just read it out. I was on the telly and went up on my phone. But yeah, you're totally right. It gives people the opportunity to look at that source material and get into the comic books and the history behind it, because I haven't read the comic books and I'm just watching it as a first time watcher of Marvel stuff and going, this is really cool, I really like this. But I think the getting more people into it through the TV side is actually really clever.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want people to read the source material? That's only going to feed more back into the MCU and Disney. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well.
Absolutely. What were your thoughts on the final episode? Again, I know you mentioned the fourth wall breaking, but the fact that she completely broke the fourth wall and Disney Plus and literally went into another show.
So you know the bit before she broke out of Disney Plus and Hulk comes in to like save the day and it was all getting crazy. Even then, I was like, yeah, Hulk's here, yeah! And I was totally into that. So if it even had have gone down the normal Marvel route, I would have minded. Like, I would have been okay with that ending because it's what we're used to. It's what we expect of Marvel. But then when that curveball happened, I was like, hang on. What is this? And obviously I was watching it on Disney Plus. So for a second, freaked out like that can't be the end of the episode. What just happened? Like, they haven't taken me back to the home screen, have they?
Yeah.
And then it all became clear what they were doing. And then when she started walking through the Disney courtyard, I thought that was lovely because it kind of just tied it all together and reminded you that actually there's massive production that goes into stuff like this. And it gave a nod to those writers and those producers that work so hard to make these things happen. I thought, how great to give them a bit of show time. Yeah. That was really nice. I enjoyed that as well. Bit of a behind the scenes feel to it, but I didn't see that ending coming at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Same. Yeah. I didn't see it coming. It's a tricky one for me because I understand the reference because, again, comic book wise, She-Hulk would do that. She would jump out of the page or jump from panels, go across the letters page and ask the writers or whoever and be like, what are you playing at, what is this, sort of thing. So I get the reference and it's really cool. I just don't know in the climax if that was the best place to kind of do it. If more of that happened in the mid of the season, I think it would have I think a lot more people would have been like, this is way different than I was expecting, sort of thing. I think a lot of it happened a little too late for my liking.
Yeah, I can see that. Although, playing devil's advocate, would it have been such a funny or shocking twist at the end if that had happened earlier?
Ooh. Ooh.
If we knew that was an option, if we knew that
Mm.
the character could break out of the platform I'm watching on, like,
Yeah.
you don't want to really release that too early. Like, that's funny.
You're right. I can see what you mean.
And we did get nods to it in, I think it was the penultimate episode where we were at the gala,
Yes.
award ceremony, and we were at what felt like the natural end of the episode. She's like, I really don't know why you guys are still here. Like, what's going on? Oh, we're doing that now. Oh, it must be the finale next week. And I feel like that did a bit. That felt like the most conversation she'd had with me as the viewer.
Mm-hmm.
So it was ramping up through every episode. I think there was more fourth wall breaking.
Yeah.
So perhaps that was their way of introducing it earlier. But yeah, I see what you mean about it would have felt more normal if we knew that happened earlier. Yeah.
It's really bizarre as well, because that 8th episode felt like the best She-Hulk episode. And I'm not just saying that as a Daredevil fanboy, but like everything else around it was like so good. Like even when Daredevil came in and she was like, who's this a-hole? Like, you know, the fourth wall breaking was consistent. Like it wasn't like it happened once and then we didn't see it again or anything.
Yeah.
Like even when they were drinking at the bar and she was like, are you feeling this as well? And
Yeah.
it's kind of like, yeah, I think I am. But yeah, that episode was so good. And I think for a lot of people, they were expecting the whole season to be that. Like Jen either, defending or doing court drama against villains and heroes alike, sort of thing. They just weren't expecting like the long way round of her like self-discovery and stuff.
I mean, it gives them a really strong direction for season 2, doesn't it? That they could then quite easily lead into that one story per episode style of storytelling.
Yeah.
And I would like to see longer episodes. They felt really short to me.
Yeah.
I think if they were longer, it would allow you to tell more of that client attorney side of things with that added in. But with I think, 35 minutes, something like that?
Yeah. I think this was the shortest finale as well, compared to Loki and WandaVision and everything else.
Yeah. So you're kind of trying to tell an origin story.
Yeah.
Even though it's already happened. They kind of had to do it. Like, is that she's got her powers. Oh, by the way, let me tell you how I did that. Let's go back. And then it's, now I've got these powers, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to help people. And really, it's not until the end of the finale when you go, right, well, now she's going to use her powers for good and to help people and probably be a lawyer with Daredevil and hopefully have lots of babies. Yay. But yeah, so I feel like this was her origin series, and then what I now want is I just want to see her life because she's an interesting character, but I love her now. Like, I've grown to love her in this series, and now I just want to see her life play out. But I see what you mean. It would have been nice to have those kind of longer stories about the villains more, but perhaps then we wouldn't have loved Jen so much.
I see where you're going with that. It's one of those things, like, as someone who has watched a lot of like silly courtroom shows like The Good Wife. The Good Wife is kind of like that sympathetic like lawyer who has like a heart of gold and wins the case for them, good or bad. And the same for Suits as well. Suits is that kind of whole dynamic as well. Whilst they have their own dramas at play. But this was so much like, I don't know if you remember it, Ally McBeal, like this really kooky, weird sort of like woman in work, like commentary, but also CGI dancing babies. Like,
yeah, CGI was a little bit off in places. When she was the only time I really noticed it, and I was like, but you get used to it, I think, don't you? But that was I guess the only thing that was a little bit disappointing, I suppose, was, no, and I don't mean disappointed like I'm some aficionado of Marvel, because I'm not. I liked it, but there's that whole suspension of disbelief, I think, isn't it? Is when you totally believe that character is Thor, is Iron Man, whereas when you see them kind of, it was her arms didn't move naturally, whereas Hulk moves really naturally. And obviously an investment thing. It's obviously CGI costs and a bomb, and they reference that in that final episode when it's like, just wait till the camera's off you before you change back, because the CGI is a load of money. And I thought, you know what, they know they're going to get slated, so they've referenced it. Fair play. Like, it's just really clever. I think you be aware of your shortcomings, I suppose, and highlight them.
Yeah, what's spooky about that as well, like back in 2021 when we got the teaser trailer, a lot of the clips was from the finale. So when she landed in the lot where, you know, the camera kind of raises up with her from the back.
Yeah.
And there's another clip as well. All of the like classic Hulk, like 60s, well, no, I think it's like 80s, like that all of that was in the teaser. And it's kind of like, oh my God, like they pre-cogged, like knowing that people would be like, the CGI is rubbish and She-Hulk stealing from Hulk, and you know what I mean? Like that commentary, they already, I guess they must have seen it already coming, but it's kind of weird that they knew that a year beforehand. So but it's I kind of like how they played the Black Panther music, as they said the CGI team are working on something else already, and it goes,
oh, I didn't notice that. That's really cool.
So that's kind of cool.
So how, you as chief Marvel fan and person that I text whenever I watch another bit of Marvel,
right,
because I need your opinion and I need to discuss it with someone that can tell me 100 facts that I don't know.
Okay.
What was your thoughts on it? Like, overall as a series, did you enjoy it? Were you a bit like, meh?
I think going around in circles about it, because there's things I'm not crazy about, and then there's really cheap, tacky stuff that I couldn't help but laugh. Like the whole episode with Wong and Madison, like, and Wong's watching Sopranos. Like,
no.
To me, it was comedy gold, but at the same time, like, this is the Sorcerer Supreme. Like,
what are you doing?
Yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean? Wong has no like idea of courtroom. Like, he lives in this world. He doesn't live outside in another dimension. He's a human like any of us. But I go around in circles. I love it for the cheesy nonsense. But as a TV show, well, as a series and stuff, I was kind of like, there's so many inconsistencies in terms of quality and storytelling, narrative, and such. It feels really weird, to be brutally honest. Like the whole blood plot line, the
blood bit again, going back to that, and the we're not going to do it this way, we're going to do it this way, thanks to Kevin. I thought that was lovely. That was really funny. But I felt like that didn't give the wrapping up of the story in the way you expect for like this whole series has been running up to finding who is running intelligentsia, and then we found out and suddenly they're arrested within 2 minutes of show, and that was a bit like if you stop and think about it, it's like oh, that's disappointing. But I don't think I'm thinking that deeply about it. I'm just looking for a switch off show that ticks the boxes, which is comedy, a bit of a law drama because I like that kind of thing, and it's got superheroes in, and oh, look, there's another character that I know from that other show. And so I am probably the exact target audience that they want, because I haven't got that extensive knowledge where I'm disappointed with how they've done it. It's just a show. And I think it probably depends on where you are on that spectrum of knowing about She-Hulk as to how you feel about the series.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that as well, because it's kind of like, just don't think about it. Like, yes, Jen had an inhibitor in the finale, which was something that Bruce Banner had to build in the first episode, to keep him under wraps. But hey, don't worry about it. Just carry on. It's fine. But it's just, it's a weird one, really, because there's so many questions and such, and then it's kind of like, it's like, oh yeah, you remember that thing of Hulk going into space? He's back now. Don't worry. He's at the barbecue.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Just don't think about it.
He's got a son now.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Daredevil babies. Does that make you really happy? I know you love Daredevil.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Is she good enough?
Here's the thing. Like any, maybe I should rephrase this. Matt is a man who loves women. So he's not one to usually hang around.
Gotcha.
It's crazy, like, but some people think like his women count is higher than some of the like most extravagant X-Men, like,
wow,
just because he is a man whore.
Oh, that's disappointing. I didn't get that vibe from him.
You would never get that vibe from him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well.
That's what. Yeah. But I mean, it's no different from Spider-Man. Spider-Man's also, got a high count of past lovers.
But he's so small.
It's not.
So young.
Just for comic book rise. So Black Cat is kind of like this Catwoman type, like, cat burglar, super sexy, super hot. She has a thing for Spider-Man because, it's a kind of a backwards and forwards, a bit like Batman and Catwoman. And there's this time where they started seeing each other, but she doesn't want to know what he looks like underneath, because she's so into the Spider-Man persona. Yeah. To the point, like, when he does feel ready to take his mask off, she throws up because she's like, it breaks the fantasy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, sounds like a not very nice piece of work, frankly.
I mean, they work it out, they have an on and off sort of thing, but
if someone threw up after they saw my face, let me tell you, I wouldn't be working anything out with them.
Yeah.
It's the most insulting thing you can do to a person.
I know. But, it's...
Matt Murdock would never have that problem.
Well, this is the thing. Like, Matt Murdock he's a charmer on every level. Yeah. I mean, he famously, I want to say, maybe got engaged to Black Widow. Like, yeah, Matt, those Murdoch boys.
Fuck my word.
Yeah.
Murdoch. Sorry, I'm doing that girl thing where you always add a boy's surname on to see what it sounds like. It doesn't sound good.
Well, there you go. But yeah, it's really interesting, like, wow, some of the relationships in the past and such. But yeah, Matt Murdock, he like I said, he's a charmer, he's a pleaser.
Yeah.
Mm,
See that.
mm,
The
yeah.
Can we just though the heartbeat scene? I mean, I felt that. I don't know if anyone else did, but
Mm.
that was, yeah.
It that whole like interaction and stuff was so good in the sense of like, of course he hears her heartbeat, knowing like she's, you know, attracted to him and stuff. But after that, when he takes out like the goons, and then for a second we almost had like classic Daredevil, Netflix Daredevil fighting men in like a corridor, like, and then she just jumps in and smashes them all. It was just kind of like hilarious.
Yeah.
You did it again, Kevin. You did it
Yeah.
again.
So where would you place it on the undisputed / disputed scale?
If it wasn't for episode 8, this would have been disputed for me. Yeah, but it's undisputed just because of that one episode.
That episode's doing the heavy lifting then.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I would say so. It also brought a lot of people back as well, because a lot of people fell off, you know, a couple of episodes into this season. And then once they heard Daredevil was back, they came back, watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where this goes as well, because what does this mean for She-Hulk? Is she going to go straight into an Avengers movie or something else? Second season, Hulk, will he get his own solo movie off the back of this? What do you think?
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? And then maybe she'd get better CGI if it's part of a movie.
A bigger budget.
Yeah, that's what she needs. She just needs freer arm movement, and then I think, oh, that would be good. I mean, I'd like a second season. I think it's fair to say that this has opened the door for that courtroom.
Yeah.
One story per week with an underlying, she's doing something to help people, or she's going to join the Avengers, or whatever it is. But I think there's a second season to give us more of this Jen and She-Hulk now. She's comfortable with who she is, and she is vibing with that personality. So I would like another season, I think. But I mean, is there going to be another Avengers movie? Are we not done with those yet?
There's going to be more. Yeah, they've announced it at D23. So yeah, there's like a Secret War Avengers, and there's Avengers Kang. So yeah, that'd be really fun.
Place yet?
Say again.
Do we know when they take place yet? Like in timeline?
Yeah, I want to say. Oh, now you're testing me. They did announce the years that they're planning to do this, but they recently did a tweet saying that some things are going to change, like literally this week, because, for example, the director or writer for Blade has left the project because of creative differences and such. So, which means like the whole slate has to move slightly because of it, because it's going to take longer to make now. But yeah, it's interesting, because it's kind of like, okay, like, what does this mean? Now we're at the end of phase 4 as well. This is kind of like the last of it.
I don't know if I want any more Avengers following the last one, because it makes me sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Iron Man. I was going to be like, oh, it's a spoiler, and then I realised I watched it like 5 years after everyone else. Only a spoiler if you've not seen it. Yeah, that still hurts me. I did, like, you know, the ugly cry when you like can't breathe.
Yes.
And like that for about an hour after the film finished. And
Did you? Yeah.
I was watching it with my husband James, and he was like, are you still crying about Iron Man? I'm like, yes, I'm crying about Iron Man. Yeah, that hit me hard. But I wonder whether because we did the whole MCU in order in quite a short space of time. I think it was over a few months that we did everything start to finish. There were some that we'd seen through the journey, but not all of it. So it might have been like we'd seen the second Iron Man, but not the third one and stuff like that. So actually watching it all in order, I felt very invested in the characters because I'd been with them solidly for a few months, and then to lose them and have them taken from me, I felt was unjust.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that hit me hard. So I would be very reluctant to see anyone else go.
Ooh.
I don't know if I could take it.
Well, you have to think like this would be like 2012 Avengers, like they all come together for the first time, like sort of, well, the new Avengers, shall we say, instead of like the old guard. So like this will be a new experience. Some people are really hammering for a new Avengers now because they're kind of like, I miss that dynamic of like odd heroes coming together to save the world and stuff, you know, even if one of them's just got a bow and arrow, but the other one's a Viking alien, like, you know. So
it's really off topic, but do you know what heard recently that was like someone from not from the right place being in somewhere different? We've been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and in season, I want to say season 4, I think it's season 4, the not Knight Rider. What's the guy? The skull, flaming skull guy.
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider, not Knight. I was close. Not Knight Rider.
I'd see where you're going. Yeah.
Ghost Rider goes into the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and is a character that kind of helps out the agents. And I was like, it's Phil Coulson. And what? Like, it was crazy. Really worked, and then I really loved it, and then I became quite invested in his character as well, so that was cool. Yeah, that was random, but yeah, I know what you mean, like when people appear in places they shouldn't be.
Yeah,
I like that.
I get that's, now you mention it, that it's just dawned on me, like that might be people's like first, like what's the word I'm looking for, like the moment they first interact with a Ghost Rider, because like for me, like I saw the early 2000s like Ghost Rider starring Nicolas Cage.
Oh, Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Love Cage. But that was very cheesy, wasn't it? That was
yeah, super cheesy.
Whereas this was kind of like a cool, edgy, Reyes, cool Ghost Rider
with a like muscle car on fire and stuff. Yeah.
He was a much better Ghost Rider for sure.
Nick watches this podcast.
Yeah.
Super fan. Yeah.
Sorry, I loved you. Great. Wasn't you?
But yeah, it's just going back to like the MCU and She-Hulk and everything else. Like the Kevin thing, I thought was kind of weird as well. Like for a moment, I was like, "Oh my god, we're going to see Kevin Feige like in his office," and a lot of the. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, no, I was going to say that I clocked it quicker than I think the viewer's supposed to because we watch with subtitles. And if you
really
subtitles, the name Kevin appeared as K.E.V.I.N.
No way.
And I was like, oh, they've made him AI. He's going to be a robot. and it happened. So I felt like that twist would have been more shocking if I wasn't watching with subtitles, because that was a bit of a spoiler, really. Which was interesting.
That is interesting. I never realized like the subtitles would give it away like that.
Yeah.
That's cheeky. But yeah, because apparently a lot of the, well, not a lot of it, but you know, when she goes through the NDA and signs it and stuff, apparently that's real. Like if you have a meeting with Kevin Feige, apparently you get given an NDA, and you go into a vault room which has like you're not allowed to take your phones in or anything. It's like completely not sealed, but it has so many things like on the walls and like strings to comics and stuff. Like it's like almost like the the room where it all happens. Hamilton reference.
Nice.
Um but yeah, apparently like there is a room that Kevin sits in to kind of map it out, and before you get to see him you have to go through these like things and stuff, which is really
No, I
funny.
know about that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. It's interesting. But yeah, and the robot has a cap as well.
Oh, I didn't notice the cat.
It's got like a weird like cap over its scopes.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was interesting.
Mm,
But knowing stuff like that makes that funnier. So again, it
it
comes back
does, yeah.
to like, being a fan, knowing the lore makes those
Mm.
in jokes funnier. Whereas I was just like, oh, I see what they've done there. It's a bit weird, but yeah, funny. But I probably didn't get it on as deep a level as a fan would have. So yeah, that was oh, that's clever. That's cleverer than I even thought. So well done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know. I feel kind of weird about the whole thing.
I'm getting that.
Yeah, I'm in a weird space. Maybe I just need to either rewatch it or just kind of sleep on it for like a week and then go back to it or something, I think.
I think it's because you know too much. You're you can't watch that objectively if you're a mega fan. And I don't know, I just think going into it as someone who had no previous knowledge of She-Hulk, it was an entertaining comedy drama.
Hmm.
And that's the takeaway for me, is I enjoyed watching it and I thought it was cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, I can totally see for diehard fans of the MCU that it feels a bit like a Mickey take in places, and
Yeah.
perhaps they don't want to see the MCU take the mick out of itself. I don't know. Is that insulting if you're absolutely obsessed with the MCU to see it like take itself apart like that?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
funny enough, I want to say it's Frank Chow, but I know that's not right. The female writer on this and director, she mentioned that that there was a lot more that they kind of made jokes about Marvel in the show, but it got cut out because they were like, no,
We-
we still want to be credible after this, like,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, it's like you said, that maybe there is that kind of silliness of like egg on your face, like stop meta watching this, like stop trying to, look for clues for anything else that's going to happen. So yeah, you could be right in that sense.
It would be interesting to hear what some other people think about it, because I've just been on Twitter, but obviously the thing with Twitter is it's a vacuum, isn't it? And the algorithm will give you people who share your opinions, and so everything that I've seen about it has just been people thinking things were funny that I thought were funny, because those are the people that Twitter wants me to see. So I guess I've got looked enough into it to see what the general consensus is, but I'm guessing you probably have more so than I would have.
Well, again, just to replicate that experience, a lot of my Twitter has just been people screaming like, "Where's my Daredevil?" And then when you saw the gold helmet in the box, and they were like, "He's coming next week," and then he wasn't there for next week, like for another 2 weeks, like, "Where's my Daredevil?"
Yeah. So who knows then, really, what the sentiment is on it. It'd be interesting when they kind of start to release viewing figures and stuff to see how people have, like you said, the people that have dropped off.
Yeah.
And have people gone, nah, this is not what I thought it was? Or have they gone, It's not what I thought it was, but I'm going to keep watching. So yeah, I'm keeping an open mind for season 2 because they could go either way.
Hmm. Yeah,
So.
definitely. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever see those figures. If I'm brutally honest, like they're not ones who usually show figures and stuff. Because they're like, it's a streaming service. We don't know yet. We're still new. Um, people were like, I wonder what the figures were like for One Division, and they're like, oh, we're new. Don't worry about it. Have you seen this thing called Boba Fett we got? Like,
Some new
oh,
stuff.
yeah, Mandalorian. Oh, yeah.
That's maybe. Oh. Yeah, we're just throwing stuff at you and pretend that you don't remember that. Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Is there going to be a season 2 of One Division?
No.
Because that ended on quite a cliffhanger.
Yeah. So that kind of it was meant to kind of really lead into Multiverse of Madness. It still did because she had the Darkhold. But they changed a lot of things in between.
Yeah.
Those two. But we should be getting a Hagatha TV show soon.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
You don't seem that excited.
I tell you what, you should really watch. And we did an episode on this, which came out a day or two ago from when this episode goes live. But there's a show called, well, not so much a show, but a special called Werewolf by Night.
Cool.
It's like 52 minutes long, and it is amazing. Like, it's black and white, but
Right.
it's like a beautiful like homage to 1950s horror, and it does this like amazing like storytelling narrative and stuff, to a Marvel character that no one's cared about. Wow, that's probably a little harsh, but no one ever talks about a werewolf like in Marvel. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
unless Captain America becomes a werewolf, no one really cares.
No.
Like, so yeah, definitely check it out. It is 100% worth a watch.
I will add it to my watch list as soon as we're done.
Is that the episode? You got anything else you want to kind of mention, or was that all your thoughts on She-Hulk?
I think that's probably all my thoughts. I've probably
Yeah.
rambled for far too long about a program that you don't like.
I think it's mid. There we go. Mid. Yeah.
I will happily agree on mid because I take the point that for fans it's not the one. So yeah, I think middle ground seems fair.
I mean, it gave me Daredevil. I can't complain too much. Yeah. So hey, listen, if you agreed with us, if you agreed with Mel, let us know in the comments. If you agreed with me and you're just so happy that Charlie Cox is back as Daredevil, please let me know in the comments. We can talk about it even more, just you and me. You could also find us on your favorite social media, of course, Facebook, Twitter, at undisputed_nerds, as well as Instagram. Melissa, if anyone ever wants to follow you on your house account, or what realms do you helm?
What realms do I helm? So I am on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok as at A Whole New Build.
Fantastic. Of course, all the relevant links will be in the description down below. As always, make sure to share, subscribe, and like the video, or leave a rating if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast platform. Mel, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much for taking the time to give us your thoughts and listen to my love of Daredevil.
Anytime. Thank you for letting me ramble about She-Hulk. It's been absolutely
fantastic. As always, make sure to be kind to each other and to yourself, and we'll see you next week. Ciao.